Hi class. In this video I'm going to show you how to build your scale and set up your chord bank. So we're going to review a C major scale, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now using that C major scale that you know, you can come up with this whole and half step pattern. So from C to D is a whole step, then another whole step. Here's our first half step, then a whole step, whole step, whole step, and a half step. Remember, anytime you go from one note to the next adjacent note, that's a half step. It's moving in half steps. But if you skip anything, then you're moving in a whole step. All right, so we've got whole notes written here. Each one's a measure long for the notes of the scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And you can see that pattern represented right here. So from C to D is a whole step because we're skipping that C sharp. Here's another whole step. Here's a half step, whole step. Here's a whole step, and then we end with a half step. All right, next thing to know or memorize is the quality of the chords for the major scale. So for each one of these scale degrees, I've put the quality of the chord up here in the Roman numeral. So the 1 chord is major, so it's a capital 1. The 2 chord is minor, so it's lowercase 2, or II. A minor 3 chord. The 4 chord and the 5 chord are both major, so they're capitalized. The 6 chord is minor. The 7th chord is an exception. That's a diminished chord. It's the only one of those that we're going to see in the major scale, and the diatonic chords built off the major scale. And then we end up again back on our home note, in this case C, for the tonic, and again it's capital 1. All right, so using this, you can come over here to this chart and see how to build these kinds of chords. So to make a major chord, you're going to have a major third on the bottom with a minor third on top. To build a minor chord, you're going to have a minor third on the bottom with a major third on top. Diminished is minor third on top of a minor third. And then last, augmented, which we're not seeing here, but I wanted to list it. It's a major third with a major third. Okay, so our first chord, the 1 chord, it's a major chord. So we're going to have a major third on the bottom and a minor third on top. The major third we're going to build with 4 half steps. So think of this like playing in a board game. So I'm going to take this note, or this chess piece, or this board game piece, and I'm going to move it 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be my next note. Now when I do this, I can hold Option, and it'll copy the note for me. So hold Option. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my major third. And then on top, we need a minor third. So hold Option and move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And now we've built our major chord, the 1 chord. Our next chord, the 2 chord, is a minor chord. So we need a minor third on bottom and a major third on top. All right, so a minor third, we're going to have 3 half steps. Hold your Option key, 1, 2, 3. And then on top of that, a major third. Hold Option and move it 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice that you can even see this, that this is a little bigger, so the major third's on the bottom, the minor third's on top, and here we have the minor third on bottom and the major third on top. Okay, the next chord, the 3 chord, we're going to do the same thing, another minor chord. 1, 2, 3 to make the minor third, 1, 2, 3, 4 to make the major third. Next is a 4 chord, and the 4 chord is a major chord. We've got the capital 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Same thing for the 5 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, major third, and then 1, 2, 3 half steps to make the minor third. Okay, next we've got a minor chord for our 6 chord. So 1, 2, 3, minor third on bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, major third on top. The diminished chord, that's a minor third with a minor third. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then last, we're going to have our major chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. And when you finish this up, I always suggest you check it in score view. And you'll see that in score view here, I've actually got a mistake. When you've got your key signature set the same as what you're trying to work on, then your score view will show you any accidentals, anything that's outside of the key. So I can go back over here and check this last one. I know I needed a major third on the bottom, and that was the mistake. So I just need to move this up one, and then we need 1, 2, 3. And now you see I'm fixed, and I've got that C major chord there. All right, so it's not that difficult. It can seem like a lot of work at first, but let's just, for fun, scrap it all and pick a different key. So this time we'll go with, let's do E major. Okay, so our first note that we're going to put in here at the beginning is going to be an E. So we'll pick E major. For the one chord, we'll enter in our... So let's build our scale. We'll put in this E. And then our next note, we know from the pattern, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So we're going to go up a whole step. So I've skipped something. Then I'm going to go up another whole step, then a half step, then I'm going to go up another whole step, another whole step, another whole step, and then the half step to finish it off. Now let's check it. We can always check this in our score view, and you'll notice that everything is without any accidentals, and that's because all of our sharps and flats would be handled here in our key signature. So this is really E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E. All right, but it's easy because we're just following the pattern. All right, let's go back to our piano roll and build our chords. So we've got first we're going to have a major chord, so we want to make our major third on bottom and then our minor third on top. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the major third. 1, 2, 3 for the minor third. Now we're going to build minor chords next. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got two major chords to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Remember, the major chord is the major third on the bottom and the minor third on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to have our sixth chord, so we've got a minor chord. Remember our minor chord, minor third on bottom, major third on top. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our diminished chord, minor third and minor third. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, I'm holding Option to copy these notes. 1, 2, 3. And then last we have the major chord again, which is the major third and the minor third. All right, let's give it a listen. Sounds great. And for a final check, we can also go look in our score view and just make sure that all of our chords here have no accidentals. All right, I hope that helps. E major is a fun chord to play in. It's the key of Don't Stop Believin', which is a classic hit song, but it's just also a great sounding key. So try out some other keys now that you've got some new tips and tricks on ways to build your scales and all of your diatonic chords.